utilize a methodology for ascension and resurrection. Okay? We are blessed, as I said, with the astronomical unfoldments. We are blessed, those of us who are going through different processes of ascension, to have ancestors who walk with us, who are able to transmit consciously or unconsciously direction for us to be in the right place at the right time and receive what is needed. However, for us to be able to ascend to the highest level that we can at this opportune time, it's important that we use a methodology. Okay, that we have something that is pragmatic and practical, a regimen that we use on a daily basis so that we can actually experience the highest level of ourselves and gain the most out of the experience. If we dabble here and there, if we're not focused, if we, think this is something to play with, a joke, and this kind of thing, then we will not benefit on the highest level possible. Okay, so it's very significant that we have an understanding of these things. The spiritual methodology, we don't have to recreate. Our ancestors already blessed us with the creation of that. Okay, and it works. Okay, the ancestors are themselves an example of that. Okay, so, if this sounds wooey-wooey, is because more internal work needs to be done to connect to your most ancient self, okay? Because we are all descendants of the great civilization that I'm speaking to as it pertains to the Nile Valley civilization, or so-called ancient Egypt, okay? And those highly melanated people are able to experience the bliss of this shift and this greater consciousness at this time. And this is also the blessing of the astronomical unfoldment, because we have what they call light encoding that is taking place from the transmissions of light, which are the gamma rays that are coming from the galactic center, which are affecting our DNA, which are causing our DNA helixes to multiply, allowing us to experience higher levels of consciousness, okay? And we have moved beyond the, 9-strand DNA, if you will, 12-strand DNA, and we are able to experience ourselves on these higher levels based on the physiological changes that we are going through as well, because of the light from these emission of gamma rays that are coming into this particular galaxy. So this is very significant. So how can we most benefit? How can we utilize the ancient wisdom, goddess womb wisdom, God wisdom, ancient spiritual methodology, energetic tools and technologies for our greatest good at this time? Well, we have to take the first step. And the first step is to connect with those who are able to assist you with that. Okay, my person is doing this show because I am very grateful to serve without any attachment to ego gratification for that purpose. And I serve a specific shrine. And I am very clear in terms of that worship of the manifestations of the One Supreme Being in those forms that is doing that through my vehicle. And so that is how initiation serves to bring forth these levels of transformation. The Bennu Ascension program, just in a synopsis, will provide the spiritual wisdom, philosophy, sacred science, and spiritual practice, energetic practice for one to go through these processes of transformation. And it's going to be on webinar, and it's this is a very empowering workshop, if you will, or program, I should say, because people will be able to do the work within themselves and be independent in doing that. And I think that's the most important aspect, that you really can utilize the tools and really apply it in some form of so-called independence, although we're all interdependent, right? But in terms of self-actualization. And that process only comes about when we take the time and we put in the time for our own self-development. none of this means anything if we don't put the time into what we need to do to develop ourselves, okay? We cannot truly benefit from this juncture in our story, this blessed time, if we do not do that, okay? So that is very, very significant. So the first thing that people who are interested in doing that, then they have to make a commitment to self, really examine, the material and meditate and come to the place where, okay, they want to be proactive in their liberation. This time that we're going through is a liberation for all life. All living things are being affected by this unfoldment. However, certain individuals are experiencing this on certain frequencies, on higher frequencies. And so this is why we see so-called paranormal unfoldments or, experiences that people are having, some more than others. Okay, we see some people shifting their paradigm, some more than others. And this is based on where you are in your karmic blueprint, okay, in your karmic journey. And the Creator, Supreme Being, loves every living being the same. However, when you are supposed to experience these higher levels of consciousness in your soul journey, that's when you experience it, not before and not after, because it's in divine order, which we call ma'at, when one on a soul level experiences that. And it's not anybody's better or greater or less than because of it. It just means that that soul has arrived to actually experience that level of self. Beyond what we call the consciousness of set, which is the consciousness of separation from the Supreme Being within them, okay, and within all life. So this is very important, and in understanding that we can have more compassion for ourselves and others who might not be following what we might deem to be the path of liberation. And I know that's sometimes very difficult to accept, because we might see someone that we love going what we think is off the path or in the wrong direction. However, that person is where they are supposed to be. And as the hip-hop group Precise Science said in their song, everybody ain't gonna make it, which it means that everybody is not ready to make this type of shift, okay, this type of leap dimensionally in their consciousness. And so everybody ain't gonna make it, okay? And we are gonna see some tremendous things unfolding in terms of earth changes on the planet, in the next couple of years. And so it's really, really important that people begin to do the work spiritually and to lighten their density. One of the things that we will see ultimately is what's called a polar shift. And that is a very serious thing. And so if people are not prepared for that type of dimensional shift energetically, spiritually, they will not be able to survive this shift that is taking place. And when I say survive, I mean, of course, physically survive that. Okay? Because they will not be in attunement with the vibration that is coming into this particular galaxy. And we are on this planet ascending into a higher life form, into a higher consciousness. So those who will not be aligned with that will not be able to experience themselves on this planet. And I know for many people that might sound really bizarre or really way out there, and they might say, okay, she might have had me there until she started talking about that. Well, this is a part of the reality. And for people who want to understand, well, not understand, but if they want to understand this unfoldment through Western science, then the information is also available in terms of zero-point physics, to understand the geomagnetics of the Earth and how they are diminishing, and the Schumann resonance, which is rising. The Schumann resonance deals with the vibratory frequency of the planet, which is measured and has gone from 7.3 hertz to 9 to 12. Beyond that, NASA begin to actually reveal that, and then understand those reports are no longer available to the public in terms of the vibratory frequency of the planet and how it's been increasing. And also understand the geomagnetics of the Earth, which have been diminishing, and what happens when those two come to a place in time called 0 point.
Let's go higher in our consciousness. Let's go